Lost Records Bloom and Rage is from the software company that brought you Life is Strange, and this story is very much like that one. And I do mean story, by the way, for Lost Records is a narrative adventure, as they call it these days, rather than a traditional game. The premise is that four friends meet up in 2022 to remember what happened to draw them all together in the first place 27 years ago. You have to navigate two timelines, making choices in both to see how it plays out in the overall narrative. Lost Records focuses on the themes of friendship, identity, trauma, and the search for belonging. Teenage coming-of-age stuff all over then. The game is structured in two releases, this one called Bloom and Rage to be released in 2 months' time. This apes the episodic nature of Life is Strange. Its core mechanic revolves around exploration, dialogue choices, and relationship building, all of which shape the total narrative. The choices made have consequences, affecting the characters' relationships with each other and the overall direction of the story. There are also some light puzzle elements to go with it. The controls are intuitive and responsive, making it easy to navigate the environments and interact with characters. It also offers a camera mode that allows you to make memoirs of any part of the game, which lends some element of unique interaction to it. The vibe of the mid-90s is well captured in the younger timeline, as are issues of coming of age. It isn't a particularly challenging game. The difficulty here lies in making meaningful choices that impact the story in a way that you find satisfying. One complaint is that the first part of the story is slow. There is a lot of the early part of relationship building and context setting back in 1995 and in the present day. All in all, the story takes quite a long time to get going in a meaningful way, and the central mystery of the game arrives quite late in the game. Part of the problem in design here is that most of the action is clearly going to happen in Episode 2, which won't be released until April 15th. And if it weren't for the promise of Tape 2 as a free download on release, then this would be somewhat of a disappointment, priced at nearly $40. Lost Records Bloom and Rage features a distinct visual style, combining realistic environments with stylized character models. The game generally performs well with smooth frame rates and minimal bugs, but to get the best out of it, you're going to need some good specs on your rig. The soundtrack is excellent, featuring a mix of licensed music and original compositions that fit perfectly and complement the game's mood and themes. Some of the exploration scenes ramp up the chills and tension with excellent background music. The voice acting is of course top-notch, which it has to be for a game driven entirely by character narrative. They are believable and engaging performances from the entire cast, and it makes the emotions and struggles of the characters feel authentic. The game offers about 8 hours of content in this first episode, with multiple branching paths and different endings depending on player choices, although whether you'll play through them again having uncovered the secret is another matter. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is a character-driven experience that will resonate with players who appreciate well-written stories and meaningful choices. If you enjoyed games like Life is Strange or Tell Me Why, then you will probably like this, but you will have to wait until April 15th for the second half of the story.
Wow!
Dude! That
Oops!
was awesome!
Jeez,